When I heard the story that my dad assaulted her, my only impression was anger because I knew for a fact it wasn't possible, and I knew it was slander. So.
And this is what happens. And afterward, I have to move from my apartment. I lost my apartment because I could not come back any. I was afraid she called police and tell I attack her too. So I was afraid even to come to take my thing from my apartment.
The same day my dad was called by the police because he allegedly attacked her, I had to go back to his house to get his laptop so he could do some work. I came into the house to get his laptop. She and her son blocked the door, and they threatened that if I try to leave with anything from the house, that they would actually call the police. And at this moment, I locked myself in the balcony because I knew what she was capable of doing. When the police came, she actually said that I beat her also, and that I tried to strike her son, which was obviously ludicrous. And the police did not believe anything she said. I was calm, and they just let me go. But it shows to you how she can just lie.
They issued a restraining order. She stayed in his place with her boyfriend, and he had to go and to rent another place.
And one of the key things was how she just cried on the spot, completely. Like when the police came, she just started crying out of nowhere. And I remember that she used to be an actress in her home country, and that's probably, that training was probably involved into how she can cry on cue.
After being married to him for about maybe 7 or 8 months, she filed the abused spouse claim. But again, like I said, in order to file that abused spouse claim, and she didn't file it through me, but I guess she went to another lawyer, and the lawyer told her that she has to supplement her case with some evidence. So she sued her poor husband in criminal court, then in civil court, and the litigation was ongoing for years, and it was extremely damaging for him.
It's incredible what they're doing. They're destructive. She destroyed my life. She destroyed. I lost huge financial losses. I lost my job. I lost my apartment. I returned by court. I lost my health. What else could you lose? And still she want to take my last, my life earnings. She sued me now for abuse, because she did not succeed to get money for a prenuptial agreement. She sued me for $250,000, and she want to take my, my life earning saving, my pension fund. In Virginia she can take my pensions, everything.
When it happened, it was not a surprise. It was a surprise how far she took it. I didn't think someone could be that malicious and cruel. I thought maybe she just wanted to take his money, but the extent of slander that, all the stuff she said about him, all that stuff, that was pretty extreme. I was pretty surprised of how far she took it.
Avi's emotionally and physically, he's a wreckage. He lost his job at the time that he was getting trained. It's a good job. He could not go through stress. I know that he started to look for psychiatrist they prescribe him some medicine, antidepressants.
My father was more depressed than I've ever seen anyone. I mean, he was almost to the point of suicidal thoughts. I didn't think he would actually commit suicide, but he actually had suicidal thoughts. He was at my house, and me and my brother were just trying to cheer him up, and we had absolutely no idea what to tell him. I mean, we told him that it was temporary, he was going to move on, but it didn't seem to help. I mean, he was a complete mess.
Avi has cancer. He is really sick now. Was healthy all his life. And I think this stress triggered something. And
when you are blamed such a thing, you have no choice. You have to defend yourself, and things going wider and wider, and it's so wild. Even that you have, you're depressed. There is no way you can not to think about it. It's terrible. It's impossible to describe this. How depressed how miserable you became from this.
I mean, obviously, it's sad to see your own father being so devastated, and nothing you can say can really help or do anything. So it's tough because you want to be there for them, but at the same time, you can't really do much to fix the situation.
There is no defense for such people like myself, so I'm reporting obvious visa fraud. Hi, is this immigration in Chicago? I would like to check. I reported visa fraud 2 months ago. They told me, no, write it to another center. I wrote to California. I wrote to Vermont. I wrote to Washington. And always, when I call follow up, they did not have any records about this. Nothing. They were very, very rude, you know. No, we don't need anything. We will contact you. They never contact me again. You know. Listen, I talked to the clerk last time, and she promised me to make sure it will be, it will be registered and everything. Now it's again nothing. And I called like to executive investigation, so-called investigation, only just a name probably, because I called them. I tried to tell them I have all the material. No, we don't need your material. I can give the address, where she's meeting with boyfriend, where is she living. I can provide, no, we don't need anything. We will contact you. They never contact me again. So I decided that maybe the only way go to the interview. So I scheduled interview in local service of immigration services in Washington, local services. So I met with some clerk, and told me I could not understand how your system is working. It's so obvious visa fraud, you do nothing, absolutely nothing. So I want to be sure, at least I give you the letter, put it in the file. And he promised me to put the file.
Just to hear this story, it reminded me another story that I've heard from my friends. And actually a couple of stories. And all of these stories look like a cookie cutter. The same story happens to all these good people who bring younger women from Russia. And apparently all these women get abused, become victim of abuse, mental and physical, become slaves. It just sounds too corny and like a cookie cutter. So that is why I don't believe. It's too cliche.
I was very aware of this, which is why I questioned her from day one.
Very interesting how they know about. It's some people who... Люди, которые хотят это сделать, они заранее уже знают все, и поэтому так ведут себя. Я не знаю, как перевести.
Apparently, knowing the law and knowing what has happened after this, they get here as abused victims, they find protection in our country, and this is only one way to stay here and to get a green card. And that's what happened. Avi told me that she got her way and she got a green card. That's what she wanted.
She told me that her case was approved. She received green card. And I was even not asked, no, by immigration services.
She took a green card. And now she's very happy. She's thinking it's American stupid people because anyway, she took green card. I don't understand how. She came to this country, it's fake marriage. Anyway, it's green card. It's some people came to this country, it's working hard, it's everything for law, never take green card, but these people, it's very easy. That's why I believe.
I thought America is country of law, but I think sometimes it's country of law, sometimes law completely disregarded, completely ignored. And I cannot understand this, till now, I cannot understand, you persecute Mexicans, illegal aliens very much, but this at least poor people, they have, they want to provide their families, at least they come back. But these guys committed, they cause so much suffering to American, honest guys, so decent people, and they're not persecuted, they're rewarded with green cards,
I feel really sorry for Avi, and probably if I can help somebody besides Avi, I decided to help. I feel that it's really unfair, and justice has to be brought here.